Hello dear students, welcome back all of you to the physics online class. So we started the chapter atoms here, and as we discussed earlier class, atom means the different models had been started. First model was the J.J. Thomson atomic model. There we discussed that he considered plum pudding model also. That means the positively charged particles are distributed like a pudding, and the electrons which are negatively charged, they are distributed like a plum in that. So that was called as a plum pudding model. But it is failed to explain the concept and the observations of the Rutherford experiment. Therefore, next week studied about the Rutherford's alpha scattering experiment. There we discussed when the alpha particles are coming from the radioactive element and collimated through the lead sheet or the lead slit there, and it is made to incident on the gold foil. There we observed the scattering of the alpha particle with the different angle, isn't it? And that scattered alpha particle was detected by a movable detector on the screen, and when that is scattered, the scattered alpha particle observed in the detector was different at the different region. And so there the three observations we got that most of the alpha particles will directly incident and passes through the gold foil, and few of them are they are scattered with an angle less than 90, that is 0 point out of the 0.14% of the incident. Very few of them, very rare particles of the alpha, they are scattered less than 90 degree. And out of 8,000, only one alpha particle is scattered at an angle greater than 90 degree. Yes, that is greater than 90 means what? That is of course more than 90 only, that means 180, 120 like that angle may be. And that is seen here. In order to scatter that much heavy means completely back to the incident direction, what should be the force there? There should be a strong repulsive force. Therefore, Rutherford given his model, that is atomic model concept. According to his concept, Rutherford given the observations that the first point is the most of the charge of the and the mass of the atom is situated at the center of the atom, that is called nucleus. First Rutherford given that most of the mass of the atom is situated at the center, that center only called as nucleus. It was nucleus. Okay. And next he also given that the size of the nucleus very small compared to the size of the atom. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು size of nucleus consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ the size very negligible, small than the atom. Yes, and because why it is so? Because most of the space in the atom will be empty only, therefore nucleus has a smaller size. And next observation is the negatively charged electrons are revolving around the nucleus such that the total number of the electrons are equal to the total number of protons inside the nucleus. The next point of the Rutherford's atomic model is the negatively charged particles revolve around the nucleus so that total number of the electrons are equal to total number of the protons inside the nucleus. Then that is equal to, see, number of negative charges are equal to number of positive, means what it comes, the total charge of that will be neutral. Therefore, here Rutherford says that atom is electrically neutral. Atom is electrically neutral. Electrically neutral. And next he also given that the electrons electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a certain different orbits. It is just as like the planets are revolving around the sun here. So, he compared like that. So, particularly Rutherford given the nucleus has the positive charge and the electrons have the negative charge. Am I clear? So, these are the 4 observations obtained from the Rutherford's atomic model. Yes. Then next, according to the Rutherford, he also calculated the electron in the orbits. That means the total energy of the electron in the orbit he calculated. Yes. In order to get that expression, we needed to understand here energy of electron in orbit. So, according to Rutherford, electron that is revolving around the nucleus in a circular orbit, isn't it? This is the nucleus, as I consider this is a nucleus and electrons are revolving around this. Okay? And these nucleus, remember these, electrons can revolve in a circular path only because of there is an electrostatic force of attraction between electron and the nucleus is present. Nucleus having the positive charge, electron having negative, and in the first chapter we know that if there are unlike charges, unlike means what? Opposite charges, between them which force is existing? The force of attraction, the electrostatic force of attraction is present here. Okay. So, therefore, in this, and we also learnt in a circular motion there is a need of the centripetal force. Then in case of this, the centripetal force is provided by which force? The electrostatic force of the attraction. Therefore, in order to get the energy of an electron in the orbit, we consider that the centripetal force is equal to the electrostatic force of the attraction between the electron and the nucleus, right. And here centripetal force means we have the formula, that is mv square upon r here. And by the Coulomb's law of the electrostatic, the force between the two, electron and the nucleus, how can you write? The electrostatic force can be given as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into charge of the nucleus is taken as a plus E and charge of the electron can be taken as a minus E, and the distance between them we can write as a r square. So, therefore, mv square upon here 1 r get cancelled, means mv square will be is equal to minus of E square upon 4 pi epsilon naught into r will come, right. And we know that the total energy of the electron in the orbit can be given as total energy T is equal to, it is energy, that is the potential energy of the electron plus the kinetic energy of the electron. The sum of potential and the kinetic energy can give me the total energy of the electron in the orbit. Therefore, its final expression can be obtained will be, that is total energy TE, or you can write E is equal to E square upon, see here minus will come, minus E square upon 8 pi epsilon naught into r. This will be my formula, minus E square upon 8 pi epsilon naught into r, where r is the radius of the orbit in which the electron is revolving. That means, from the nucleus if you take the distance, that is one line here, if you draw the line, that is called the radius of the orbit along which the electron is revolving around the nucleus. Okay, and here the last expression is in negative, it is in negative. So that gives me an idea that electron is a negatively charged particle, and that is bounded with the nucleus only. That means the negative charge can attract the positive, therefore electron is revolving around the nucleus. That conclusion was given by Rutherford. Hope it is clear. But see, these all the points was explained by Rutherford. Still there is a failure of the Rutherford atomic model. Yes, and before going to that, let us talk about the trajectory of the projectile also, trajectory of the alpha particle also. Trajectory of alpha particle. Yes, as we discussed in the previous experiment, the path was travelled by the alpha particles. Yes, trajectory of alpha particle means what? The path covered, the path travelled by the alpha particle before incidenting on the gold foil is called the trajectory. Yes, and here I can give the diagram for that. I am showing here the 4 different paths, and let me explain you in all 4 different what observations you are finding. Sorry. Okay. So call it is a 1, 2, 3 and 4, and let us take here is the nucleus of the gold foil. Nucleus of the gold foil, and from the nucleus of the gold foil, and this is the path travelled by the path of the alpha particles, right, and between the incident path and the nucleus there is one perpendicular distance. Yes, and that perpendicular distance only called as the impact parameter. And denoted by a letter B here. Yes, once the question came, define impact parameter. What is the impact parameter? Impact parameter is the perpendicular distance. It is the perpendicular distance between the path of the incident path of the or initial path of the alpha particle to the center of the nucleus. See, you can see here is the center of the nucleus, and this is the path of the incident path of the alpha particle. Between these two we are finding there is one perpendicular distance. That perpendicular distance only we call it as the impact parameter. And this impact parameter can give us about the alpha scattering, that is how much angle the alpha particles can be scattered. If the impact parameter value, impact parameter is more, remember dear students, B value is more, then remember the angle of the scattering is very small. For the increase in the impact parameter, the value of the impact parameter is more, the scattering angle will be less, and vice versa. If the impact parameter value is less, then the scattering angle value will be more here. Okay, that means impact parameter and the angle of scattering, how they are related? They are inversely related. Am I clear? And impact parameter means clear here, and you can see that here actually if you take the path of the incident alpha particle, then see here theta angle is more, and here it is decreasing and decreasing here. So if you consider the path here, angle, theta angle is almost 0 only, because here the impact parameter is so more here. And in case of this, if you consider, that is impact parameter is decreased, therefore the angle of that is increasing. Okay. So this is the how the scattering angle is related to the impact parameter. Okay. So these are about the concept of the alpha particle scattering by the Rutherford. And next we discussed about the total energy of the electron in the case of the orbit, that was given by the formula minus E square upon 8 pi epsilon naught into R. And here E is the charge of the electron, R is the radius of the orbit where the electron is revolving, and epsilon naught means what? The permittivity of the free space. That point you learnt in the chapter, so first and the second already. Okay? Yes. And now let us move to the point, what are the limitations? Yes, of course the Rutherford explained these many points, still it has the disadvantages or limitations or drawbacks are there. Next, let us talk about drawbacks. Limitations or drawbacks of Rutherford's atomic model. Yes, the first drawback is Rutherford's atomic model could not explain the stability of the atom. It could not explain the stability of the atom, or it is failed to explain the stability of the atom. How the stability of the atom was not explained here? Actually, as the Rutherford told, the electron can revolve around the nucleus in a different orbits, right? And if you see here, this is the nucleus, yes, and these are the different orbits around the nucleus and where the electrons are revolving. Yes, and if the electron can revolve around the different nucleus, and as it travel with the different orbits here, the energy of the electron, what happens, goes on decreasing. This electron can revolve, next it comes to the another orbit here, and like this only, when it comes continuously as it comes, and its energy goes on decreasing. Finally, the electron may come and fall into the nucleus. Then what happens? If it falls, then there is no stability of the atom remaining. Therefore, the Rutherford's model failed to explain the stability of the atom. Am I clear? That is the first disadvantage or the drawback or the limitation of Rutherford. Then next one is, it could not explain the atomic spectra. Or it is failed to explain the line spectra of the atoms. So here, as we know, so the atom, every atom consisting the isotopes, and when you go for that, the lines are present. That line and that fine structure of the lines are called a spectrum of that given atom. Yes, therefore, so this is failed. Rutherford's model is failed to explain the line spectrum of the atom. So these are the two drawbacks or the limitations. Due to that only, next we are seeking for the another model, that is the Bohr's atomic model. Before going to that model, we should learn what is the atomic spectra and different series of the atom that will be studied. Okay. So, I hope dear student, whatever points we covered here, it is clear, and in the next class we come up with the atomic spectra and different concept and Bohr's atomic model also. Yes, where he explained about the line spectra and the stability also, but there also Bohr failed to explain the atomic spectra for the complex atom. Only he explained about the hydrogen and hydrogen like atoms, but if you go for the complex compounds or the ions, there also we will be fed. Yes, so that further things we talk in the next video. So thank you for watching this video.